What if a company can be making millions in sales and still be heading toward financial disaster? That happens more often than you might think. The problem isn't always poor sales. Sometimes it's poor financial strategy. Strategic corporate finance is about making the big money decisions that determine whether a company survives, grows, or eventually runs out of cash. Where should the company invest? Should it borrow money or raise capital? Should it acquire another business? How much cash should it keep? And which projects are actually worth funding? In this video, we'll break down strategic corporate finance into practical ideas you can understand even if you've never studied finance. Let's start with a simple idea. Corporate finance isn't just about recording what happened to a company's money. It's about deciding what should happen next. Imagine you run a company that generates $10 million in annual profit. You now have several choices. You could reinvest the money into expanding the business. You could buy another company. You could pay down debt. You could keep the cash in reserve. Or you could return some of the money to shareholders. Every option has a different risk and a different potential return. That's where strategic corporate finance comes in. The goal is to allocate limited financial resources toward decisions that increase the long-term value of the business. And this matters even if you're not a CEO or CFO. If you're an entrepreneur, investor, manager, accountant, or someone trying to understand how large businesses make decisions, these principles help you see what is happening behind the numbers. Think of it like playing chess. A company doesn't make financial decisions only for today. It has to think several moves ahead. Section 1. Capital allocation. Where should the money go? The first major decision is capital allocation. In simple terms, where should the company put its money to generate the best result? Suppose a company has $5 million available. It could spend $5 million opening a new factory, invest in technology, acquire a competitor, or use the money to reduce expensive debt. The smartest choice isn't automatically the one with the biggest potential revenue. The company needs to compare the expected return against the cost and risk. For example, imagine Projector requires $1 million and is expected to generate $200,000 per year. Project B also requires $1 million, but is expected to generate $80,000 per year. If the risks are similar, Project A looks much more attractive. But strategic finance goes deeper. Management should ask, how reliable are those cash flows? How long will the project take to become profitable? What could go wrong? And what other opportunities would the company lose by putting $1 million into this project? The actionable lesson: don't ask, can we afford this investment? Ask, is this the best use of our money? Section 2. Debt versus equity. How should growth be financed? The second major decision is how to raise money. Companies generally have two major choices: borrow money or raise equity. Debt means taking a loan and agreeing to repay it, usually with interest. Equity means selling part of the ownership of the company to investors. Here's the analogy. Imagine you're opening a restaurant. You need $200,000. You could borrow the entire amount from a bank. You keep ownership, but you now have monthly repayments. Or you could bring in an investor who contributes $200,000 in exchange for part of the business. You don't have the same repayment obligation, but you've given up part of your ownership and future profits. Neither option is automatically better. A profitable company with predictable cash flows may be comfortable using debt because it can handle repayments. A young company with uncertain cash flows may prefer equity because it reduces the pressure of fixed repayments. This is why companies think carefully about their capital structure. The balance between debt and equity used to finance the business. The actionable lesson: financing should match the company's ability to handle risk and generate cash, not simply whichever option provides money fastest. Section 3. Cash flow and financial flexibility. Here's a mistake that can destroy a growing company: confusing profit with cash. A business can report a profit and still struggle to pay its bills. Imagine a construction company completes a $2 million project. The company records significant revenue and profit, but the client won't pay for another 90 days. Meanwhile, the company has salaries, suppliers, equipment costs, taxes, and loan payments due this month. On paper, the company looks profitable. In the bank account, however, the cash isn't there yet. That's why strategic corporate finance focuses heavily on cash flow. Management needs enough liquidity to survive unexpected problems, while still putting excess cash to work. This doesn't mean keeping enormous amounts of money sitting idle. Too little cash creates financial stress. Too much idle cash can mean the company is missing opportunities to invest, expand, or reduce debt. The actionable lesson: monitor cash conversion, payment timing, working capital, and upcoming obligations, not just the profit number. Section 4. Measuring whether strategy is creating value. Finally, strategic finance needs a way to determine whether decisions are actually creating value. One important question is the company earning more from its investments than those investments cost? Suppose a company invests $10 million into a new business division. After considering operating costs and taxes, the division generates $700,000 in annual operating returns. That might sound good, but if the company's cost of financing and required return means it needed to earn at least $900,000 to justify the investment, the project is actually destroying value. This is why financial leaders use measures such as return on invested capital, free cash flow, and cost of capital to evaluate major decisions. Think of it like investing your personal money. If someone tells you your investment made $5,000, that sounds great. But if you invested $500,000 and took enormous risk to earn it, the result looks very different. Strategic finance looks at the return relative to the capital and risk involved. The actionable lesson: that never judge a financial decision by the size of the profit alone. Compare the return with the capital invested, the cost of financing, the time involved, and the risk taken. Strategic corporate finance ultimately comes down to one question: how can a company use limited money today to create more value tomorrow? The strongest financial decisions aren't always the most obvious ones. They balance growth, profitability, cash flow, risk, and long-term value. So here's your one action. Take one company you know: Apple, Amazon, Tesla, your employer, or even your own business, and analyze one major financial decision that using the 4 ideas we covered: capital allocation, financing, cash flow, and value creation. That exercise will change the way you look at business. Thanks for watching. I would see you in the next video.